Hello there. In this video, I want to put to the test a new Adobe Firefly AI. See how it's good, how much progress it's happened. So let's go ahead and start first with creating different images. If you know, before the problem with many AIs, it's scalability, because how they pre-train to specific size of the image, and when you start working with a larger size, it's become very blurry. So we'll first look how the Adobe actually handle this. And right here we start with image, and this one is we're going to image size. You can see it's 256 by 256. It's about the smallest size of the pre-trained models what was before, with a stable diffusion 1 and other ones. If you notice what it's meaning, it's how many pixels will be horizontal and vertical. It will create this matrix, we can say, there of the mapped pixels. And after working with a different AI model, it can create image and recognizes them. The newer models will upgrade to 512 by 512, and a newest one excel and other ones 1024 by 1024, and so on. So we'll go scale and try look on them how they will look. By the way, it doesn't mean it's all size they can render. They actually can render like 512 by 124, some other ones in different aspect ratios, but general the amount of the pixels contained in this area, it's what important, because how it will handle, and that will lead to how sharp image, how well it's recognized, and on repeatability, how many times it can repeat the same image. For example, if we say render red ball, if it's image too large and it does not understand how to handle, it may render 2 balls instead just 1. So let's go right here, and you can see this is a ladybug crawling on the green leaf, something like happy sunlight, all this stuff. So this first is a 256 by 256, and it does small because I'm running on 4K, but if we zoom in, we can come closer, like almost to pixelization, and you can see it's actually handle very good resolution, the sharpness up to 1 pixel width, which is actually created very well. I'm not going yet on accuracy of the clip, I mean common language translation to the computer weight, so we not yet check on this one how well it can recognize what we wanted. Right now we're going only on the generative power when we submit and coming back. And by the way, it is not unlimited. If using Adobe Photoshop, you actually have it so many credits, you can use it per month for generative art, and when you expire you have an option to buy more or wait till next renewal sessions. Of course, all of this render happen on the computer. Adobe create a huge GPU farm with NVIDIA. This is where all that magic happening. So it will send to the client and come back. If you want prefer somewhat Photoshop process by using your local machine and your own like comfy UI installations, be sure to check my other upcoming video about how to do this. Okay, let's go look at the next. Right here we have it 512 by 512. If we look, it's again sharpness still be there. I can see by 1 pixels, mostly right here with direct line, and it does create very good. So we know a model at least 512 by 512. Next one, if I'm right, it's 1024, and we're going to the image size. Let's go check right here. Yep, it's 1024. And one thing I notice, if you look, okay, let me click cancel. If you look right here, it is creating quite big pixelizations. You see that noise? I don't know if it's noise from render or not, but we can always go select and click on different images and notice a little bit less. It may be simulated some different photo on this case, but general it's actually process good quality. Same like a look on those needles. You see this, let me zoom in. Right here, you see how they're done. It is 1 pixel. So it's telling me at least model, what is currently Adobe Firefly, it's probably using 1024 by 1024 or equal stable diffusion. So the new, which is utilize Excel model, which is utilize much larger model. Okay, right here, we're going to look, and this one is about 2048. And by the way, if you're not familiar, it's a power of 8 because of the bit. So you have it 1 byte, which is 0 or 1. Bit is 8 of those bytes. It's many combinations from 0 or 1 and 8. And so it's a power of 8. It's kind of multiplying and all the stuff. So next you will have it 16-bit, you have it 32-bit, you have it 512, 248, and so on, and 1024, and right here 2048. So we'll multiply this way. It's not just done for fun. It's kind of keeping with a matrix, and most model that pre-trained, they kind of pre-trained in that format to utilize the addressing space inside your processor and computer. So right here with 2024, it's a double from what we have before, and you can see actually right here we start losing. However, it's still very impressive. Look on these lines. It's what I'm looking on the sharpness on those lines. It still processed by about 1 pixel per line, which is quite a bit impressive, I think, personally. All right, here, if we come closer, you can see lines. A little bit blurry. We start losing some model on the our ladybug. Yes, right there, you can see start. But general, it's actually holding very good resolution on this. Okay, let's go to next, and this one, it's 3000, I think. Let's go check what we have. Yeah, 3000. So it's quite a bit large size. There I can see already start a little bit degrading, still be not bad, but we are definitely more. This is 1 pixel, and you can see it's just kind of going with the sharpness. It's not bad. General, I think resolution is good, and it's possible to utilize that on upscale. So it's still render most likely in 1024 by 1024, around that range of the matrix. And it is utilizing afterward its own AI upscaling techniques, which is make image sharper for the size. And I will say its handle actually very good. It does very well job on this case. Okay, well, let's go check a couple things. The one what I want to do, it is go ahead and pre-render. So for example, right here I select all size of the image and just says, hey, create a very complex kind of labyrinth puzzle to me. What I want to do, it is select, separate just one small square here, 512, and see how well it will work. Well, let's go ahead and get closer to our image, to this corner around here, and I'm going to full resolution. It's mean double tap click, so you can preview of sharpness, and let's enable. You can see it's actually, beside the change size, what I'm looking right now, it is how well sharpness and line going, and you can see, well, this is our global. Okay, it's before. Let's go select this one, and you can see it's changed, but it does work very well with resolution. So far we don't have any problem with the blurriness or creating, as long we're creating small size. Well, next what I want to do, it is going and try on the real photo, see how we can do with this. One of the biggest problem I notice when you work with AI generative with the photography, and you start restoring, like texture on the skin become blur out, it's not necessarily going with this specific standard. And right here we have our model, and when we come closer, mostly what you can see, it's a skin texture. We'll see how well it does. Just for fun, let's see as well how well it will recognize some stuff. Right here we have an eye, so I'm going to select the eye, and we're going to create, and you can see right there is have a replacement on the eye. For me, mostly what I want to do, it is look on the eye and detailizations. I don't worry about shape at this time. What I'm worried about how sharp eye is, because afterwards I can play a little bit more around to adjust it. The eye size, it was about 512 by 512, so we are in our range, and you can see right here like an iris, some of those. I think it did a very good job to adding some of details. Of course, it's look a little bit like froggy eye or something, and that's need to work with this as well, some with the shapes, but general, I think it did a very good job in creating that. Okay, now we have 2 different eyes. Okay, let's go look on this, for example, how well it's recognized in this case, like whites. And usually you can see we have those veins. If you're retouching, high-end retouching, mostly you want to remove this. I was trying to do a little bit more fun parts to do this with AI, and you can see with AI it did create like whites, but it did okay, let me select properly layer here, And if we look, you can see it's kind of not necessarily precise. I don't know what model it was references, but right this edge look a little bit artificial, not natural look on the eyes. And I don't think it's actually perform very good in these details as recognizing all the way. Just be sure you select a bigger area so image can be sampled around, because right now if I select just the eye and send, it does not send a whole image, it just only send that area that you need to recognize. And based on this, so if I want to replace eye, I should just select all area. What I wish in Adobe was done with this, you make your selection where you want change, but also you can enable feathering. And feathering, it will says, okay, make a larger area and send that area to AI for analysis, how well we're putting in. And after, when you do, be sure it's blending together with that. So the feathering will be nice for AI. Some cases it does happen when you work with Stable Diffusion and you're using in painting, you can actually specify there directly how much feathering you can do. So it will be nice if they implemented that as well, but not at this time. So let's go ahead. Right here we have it mixed skin, and what I was meaning mixed skin, if we look closer, you can see sometimes you have it all these teeny tiny imperfections, and it's okay have it imperfection in skin, but if you want remove them all, you want to go and check around. Usually you use it your other tool like a healing brush or other things, or you can use it third filter, third party. For example, Retouch for me does excellent job to doing this. Well, and just let me show you example. So let's go ahead, we'll duplicate layer, and we're going to filter Retouch for me, and we're going for heal, Retouch for me healing. Very simple, very easy way to do it. And this is engine also does utilize some of the AI capabilities. So I'm doing very simple, let AI to do everything. Well, let's create as a mask and click apply. And when it's creating, we can look on a mask. See right here, this zones, it's what AI thought it's needed to change, which kind of nice. And let's look closer on our image. You cannot see it. This is actual tool did a very good job. Okay, before and after you can see like these areas. Oops, sorry, let me go a little bit right there. This is area, and you can see how it's fixed, remove some, done very good job with the same texture. So if you want to do without just with Adobe AI, then you almost need to go select the tool, just select all these areas and process by itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's happening right here. It's our skin. I will disable and showing you right there. You can see I select area. The problem is when you do this, like multiple selector all over area, if we see the zone, how it's complex, it is about over maybe 1024. So we about in the same area, I think right there. Let me go select right here. So yeah, look, it's a little bit past 1024. Even you select different areas, what's happening, it is analyze all of this mapping and send that to the computer, to the AI, and then it's processing at this time. So even you select small images, it does not process all teeny tiny images, it's actually process everything. And if you play before, like with the beta version, so you can see definitely how it's processed, they're working. Well, when it's coming back as one big image. And in fact, you know, if we disable mask right here, this mask, if we go disable, you can see it, it's sent to us all of this image. So it's actually take it full, process it, send back, and afterwards right here, oops, let's go disable these things. You can see it's actually, this is a mask was applied to that area. So it does take a larger image, and because it's larger image, it's some can you used upscale to create this, and it's not bad. Upscale work is not bad, but let's compare with our image. I'm going to zoom in right here, and you definitely, you see right, I don't know if how well you can see, but see the blurriness right there. You can see definitely blurriness applied, and that is a issue of upscaling what's happening. However, it does not happen all the time. It's happen on some specific way you need these details. And I noticed that blurriness does happen in other areas as well. Well, we analyze this and look in a second. In some cases was a little bit more than I expected, even if you have a smaller size. Okay, next let's go ahead. If you do like single skin right there in this area, let's come closer. So it's make a little bit less size, okay? And let me enable this skin. Okay, right there, this one teeny tiny area, it's what was using in this. And of course, if we disable and preview, you can see it's just smaller square, and the size of this, it's a way below it. So it's like not even 100 by 100 pixels. But if we enable and we look on this, you can see it still perform a little bit blurry versus original. Yeah, right there you can see a little bit blur. It's not as sharp as original image, and that is a little bit disappointing for me. Well, as well, I did a little bit more fun with the testing on a clip, and we'll do a little bit more later. The clip, it's a common language. It is whatever you type, how well it's understand and implementing, because it's all what it's about here. And for example, right here you can see the different sunglasses we can put on a model. When I was typing just the disco type sunglasses, it did a very good job applied. However, reflection is not necessarily reflecting what is around, so I did not understand. Comfy UI or Stable Diffusion have some pre-trained models that can do a little bit better in this case, same as a Mid-Journey. Okay, and the same other things we can apply, like for example the hair, disco hair. And if we look again in our disco hair, you can see it's almost take full image as I'm selected and apply to whole image here. And of course it is mask, it's what is enabled afterwards. Okay, and included like a disco ball. Did not necessarily understand very well disco ball because I was putting a lens flare. I says add some all this effect, and in fact actually did create kind of funny things, like for example teeny tiny disco ball and other ones, which is okay. Notice, look on the fingers right here. So in this case kind of okay, but you can notice the fingers is changed and they become a little bit ugly. So and this is original nails, and you can see how it is a little bit destroying. So it does not have a very good trained neural engines for some fingers and other things, and that is the main problem with very many AI. It's not yet work on this case very good. Okay, let's go ahead and look on another test in the image. In this case, I done render cloud in the first cloud on the high resolution. I think this is image. If we look, it's about 6,000 by 6,000, so I want to do a large image. And the reason, because most of my photography that I work is a shot on the Canon cameras, and they're quite a bit large size images you can do. So what we're going to do right here, we have our image, and we're going to select separate segments. For example, just like this. Oops, not. Let's go right here, small one like this, and see how well it's applied if we scale up. To me, I want to be sure the sharpness same in everything, and sadly I think Photoshop is fail in this case. So if we're going and check right around this area, okay, let's go zoom in, and notice it's covered grain, it's covered this car, and we're going with a smaller size. You'll notice it definitely, it's a blur. You can see how much blur is applied, so it's not as sharp as I wanted. And I think it's reason that maybe again render a specific matrix, specific size, just upscaling. I don't know why, but it should be a little bit sharper. Well, if we increase size to middle size right there, let's go ahead, increase. There you go. We'll go look on this size. But it's interesting things what I found. Okay, let's go right here. You can see where it's going. It actually was doing a little bit better than smaller size, and that is what's interesting. It tell me they probably upscale, or I don't know what how they process this, but the middle size, the bigger size, was having sharper image than smaller teeny tiny sharp, and this was during different tests as well. And of course, next we have it our large. And when we're going too large, you can definitely see right here how blurry it's become, because this one, okay, let's go uncheck this. You can see how large is selected. So it definitely creates more size, upscale, and everything. And just to compare, if we come closer, you can see grain on render on smaller size and larger, so definitely upscale. And general, I found out actually the best performance for AI render if you keep it about size 512 by 512 and don't necessarily want to have bigger. So this is actually about 1024 by 1024. It's about optimum things, and it's make total sense because that is what model was trained most likely as Excel model. It is 1024 by 1024. Around this ratio, about this amount of pixels was trained, and because of this, it's have the best result. So it's meaning if you add touch, if you change some stuff on your photos, that is what you want to keep it. And speak about changing of photos, let's go check couple live examples as we're doing. Right here, it's an Oregon coast. It was shot, I think, by Lincoln City or somewhere around that area. And we can see right here there's some birds and other things. So let's go ahead and see if we can remove and fix some of this. Okay, look on the detailizations, everything. What I'm going to do, it is going select image, and notice we're going, actually, let's go do this way. We'll select this bird and we're going for about 256, somewhere around there. Generate a field, so we're going to generate. And idea of this, it's supposed to send AI analyze and return back without me to specify what you need to do in this image. And there is look on this, it's actually screwed up by doing text. And this is funny because sometimes analysis give it wrong text. Like for example, if we go back and when you select full scale here and you just specify, this is what give it to me. So instead analyzing and replacing, well, in all what I did, I actually took this image, select like this 100%, says generate a fill, and this is what I got it in the result. Kind of funny things how it's acting. And I found in many cases you actually want to specify at least a little bit. What it will be useful here, if you have it image interrogations. Image interrogations is allowed to AI analyze your image and give you description back what it see. And it's nice because mostly it's utilizing exactly the same clip model, so you know how it is see and what description it's have, so you can work around the description around the computer. But right here you can see it is create quite a bit not welcoming result. We have some text for some reason. And of course, if we are going to generate, we can generate one more time in this case or add on. And let's go, says cost moss, something like this maybe. I think that probably will work. Now with the text work a little bit better. I don't think it will go that much berserk, you know, to put a text and other things, but it did apply this. Majority what I was looking at is how consistent. Well, it's well even more berserk. Well, okay, we have some animals now there. Well, I think my AI here on gone rogue, so I will just select this one for now because I want to remove it. But you can see it is still kind of occasionally a bit off coloring. Well, let's go see what's happening with this bird. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to select about a larger size, like 1024, so like around here I think. And we'll go select this. Let's go ahead and click generate a field. We'll again generate without anything. It is analyzing. I don't know if it's understand I want to remove bird or not. After this, I'll show you easiest way, of course, if we do this, how to remove. Well, actually, it's performed very well. And you know what? Even here, you can see, look on this resolution there versus smaller. So about 1024, about this size. I think it's a sweet spot in current model for Photoshop when you render because it's provide their sharpness. You know what? And I will appreciate if you have a time to go check. Look, it's it's lookable almost same. Look on the sharpness, look is exactly same. So if you want, go check in and see what you think about size working. But in my testing, if you have an image very close to 1024 by 1024 pixels ratio, that is will perform better. If you have it smaller, it's actually produce worse result than you have it larger image. Okay, and this you can see it's perform much better in this case. Okay, so as I said before, let's see what else if we remove it. You, of course, anytime if you need to remove just small, simple, you don't necessarily need to do this. You can utilize another new tool inside, and this is its have a removal tool, which is also utilizing AI model, and there's a little bit easy because you can just go highlight like this, and that is performing some options here. Right now it's a working sent to the AI, and you can see it's removed. Again, let's look just a small bird here and let's see, compare, see how fast it's went, and look on resolution. It's worked very well. So probably that approach will be a little bit better than using AI, but well, it's actually, sorry, it is still utilizing AI. It will be better approach than just selecting areas and other things. But if you have a multiple object, I think that will approach with a special size work very well. Okay, well, let's look on another ones. And right here, example, I have a landscape shot, and this was somewhere in Idaho, I think. This one was shot. I don't need it. My tool, I want to go select. And mostly what I want to do, it is, let's see how well it will do between foreground, where we have a sharp image, and here on a background we have a blur image or depth of field. Majority is how well AI can recognize. What I'm going to do is select like this longer, and mostly it's 1024. Again, remember, we don't necessarily need to have it square. We can have it just a long image, which is combined pixels will be about in same size, and it will be about like 1,048,000, I think, pixels, something around that area. So it's what we're going to do. If you always wonder, maybe I should write probably applications so we can calculate very fast what is the pixels need to be, or selecting a precise area. Okay, and right here we are generating right now, so we'll send this image generate, and let's look closer. And you can see it's actually performed very well. You almost cannot see this area. Look at this, it's performed. Of course, we have it a little bit sharper on this area. On plant, we have it one plant sharper. Let me actually see if other ones generate a little bit better. Right here, there, this is very good. And if we're going up, you can see it's performed very well on analysis of the blurriness from sharp before and understand depth of field in this case. Okay, so let's test a couple things, see how well it is clip recognition will work in this case. I'm disabling what we done right now. Let's go select some areas, and remember how I say big and small. It's what we're going to try test very fast. Actually right here we'll go smaller one, and we'll go jumping fish. Okay, let's go generate with a language. It's my idea. It is AI need go ahead, analyze environment, says what I want to do, and put it. This is probably the best. And next we'll try to create larger. Okay, maybe, yeah, it's a just generating fish, so I want, maybe I badly tell. Okay, let me try again. I will create again smaller here. Generative field, fish, jump. You know, I have very fat fingers. I just cannot type properly. There you go. You know, if I just slow down and type properly, that will perform a little bit better. Okay, we have a fish jumping out of water, and we tried this smaller area. So it is problem with this AI. Try to send this and back, and you can see it's created. It's actually quite a bit sharp in some areas, a little bit right here. Let's be closer. It did a very good job on the sharpness of the image in this case. It is very nice resolution. Okay, so let's go do bigger. So on this case, if I go and I select about this size, okay, but let's go right here. We'll put it on the middle, and we'll go in generative fill. So we'll have it right there. I know the early versions of the Photoshop with AI, they did a little bit better integrations, I think, understanding how it's going. With the newer, they increase quality and increase sharpness, but general look on this is just a fish. It does not really going all of this. Possibly I need to specify a little bit better in this case. For example, I notice if you create like image, generative fill, we'll select and you describe a little bit more literal. It seems like work better in this case. Okay, and I use a little bit more descriptions here. It says the fish splashing and jumping out of water, ripples on the water, small drips, so kind of a little bit more descriptive. I think they're utilizing still a linear type of the clip, so it's meaning it's a weight going, versus new Stable Diffusion 3, which utilize the round descriptions. And let's look right here what we had. Yeah, see, it just add the ripples. So yeah, it doesn't utilize new pattern of the recognition of the clip, so it's still the old system. And I'm sure that maybe updates soon, but it is ignoring my jumping fish and I'm working with a ripple. So it's telling me it does not really have a good clip model yet. But it did have it very good for the image generation. So we'll see how it's work on this. Now let's do one more test before I'll call it off and done on this case. And this is around here. Actually, let's go around log in this area. And what I want to do, mermaid, peeking from the water. I don't know, or looking, maybe swimming in the river. Actually, that one will work a little bit better, a little bit more direct what I want to do. We'll see if it's actually put it in the water. Previous versions done actually better, tell you true, clip model was working a little bit better than on a new one, but quality is a little bit better here. Well, it is not a mermaid. That is not, well, okay, some tail. So I will say general, it does not recognize as well as I want my language, but image generating a little bit better. Okay, so right here is a new engine overview. You can definitely see from this where we have it. It is definitely upgrade size and sharpness of the image, which is can generate, which is good on this. But it feels like clip or language recognitions went down from previous versions. It's a little bit more direct, precise, it's what you need to say, and less of natural language of use it. Well, it is just the beginning of this. Of course, we have much more to cover. Well, and I'm sure you come back to check this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.